Interesting thing is basically, Tesla can drop the heavy RC motor in the front with the junkyard magnet for the front electric engine, and they could just replace it with a trunk in the front of the engine and power the car with the four-way basically tires. Strong enough torque on almost like a wood saw, and all four tires can basically replace the engine and guts in the front of Tesla, Polestar, BMW electric, many other types of electric. Car could be like less than 250 pounds. Even the conversion of all cars that use gas, if it wanted to, just ripping out the engine, basically the alternator or something. Oh yeah, ripping out a lot of the heavy guts like the transmission and just removing it and stripping it from cars and making another trunk in the front of the car by bolting like a plastic 40-gallon or metal sheet metal, basically a fitter, basically trunk into the front. Could be like a front-facing trunk, and then just basically making a double rotor where one rotor basically is stacked to a secondary rotor where basically a power electric 360 spinning axle on the tires can just allow the tires to move where it doesn't really need a front-facing engine. Since the tires can be powered by like wood saws, four wood saws could power a 200-pound vehicle right down the street at a fast 60 mile an hour 60 miles per hour in like 0 to 2 seconds or 0 to 3 seconds, like the same kind of fast torque on an RC motor in the front. And then it's much easier to convert basically old standard gas cars by yanking out the 500-pound engine, the transmission, the exhaust pipe, the 35-gallon basically gasoline reserve in the back, anything that's heavy, and leaving everything that's electrical and basically power steering and basically anything that's part of the inside of the car for comfortability alone. Just the engine, the transmission drops like 700 pounds out of a vehicle down to like 350 pounds, and some other heavy metal parts like the front end exhaust and tail exhausting can go. And the 35-gallon reserve underneath the car for 35 gallons of 87 or 93 gas can go. And fitting the front of the car after that stuff is yanked out as a new front-facing trunk. Like the car would have a trunk in the front and the back to store stuff, and then making the rotors on the tires a free-moving, cheap electric motor, less than $100 per tire, can power basically 2,000 pounds of weight down the road if the torque is strong enough. Of 500 pounds of torque per tire could push the 2,000 pounds, four passengers and a double trunk of 100 pounds in the front and the back. Four 500-pound force motors on all four tires. They're the size of half a coffee can. Can power basically a rotor-to-rotor free movement of the wheel with the control and the accelerator, the electric accelerator under steering wheel. And that's it. That's the redesign of helping gas-powered cars do the conversion of removing all the weight to allow them to be super strong rechargeable electric, very cheap with less than $5,000 conversions worldwide.